This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome to Silent Witness, the podcast that dives into cold cases and true crime. Hosted by Christina.
Hello, hello.
And Erica. Hi. All right, what you got for us today, lady?
Okay, so we are going to revisit a case that originally aired several weeks ago. We
Alrighty.
pulled that episode.
Yes.
And we will discuss this case in a version that not only honors Courtney Martin and the wishes of the family.
Alrighty. But we're still going to focus on the fact that Miss Ma'am is
yeah.
missing.
I haven't, yes, the story's there.
Yes.
But we're going to do this in 2 episodes. So I need to make something really very clear.
Yes, ma'am.
This story is based on some family recollections and viewpoint. I am not adding any details that were not provided to me.
Okay. So you're just saying what people have told you.
And more than one. So I'm not just going on one person.
Right. You have corroborating people.
Evidence,
Yeah.
Yes. Other family disagree with the story as I'm about to tell it.
Well,
there has been a lot of back and forth and even some not so nice things said to me. I am reporting this as I was told.
And that's all you can do.
Next week, there'll be the other family's version.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I am reporting.
So that's how you're doing the versions. You're doing one family's version and the other family's version.
Yes, I'm tired.
Y'all,
I'm tired.
this is about Courtney.
I
This
know,
drives me crazy.
It is about, I am doing this for Courtney. And although I've experienced some backlash because of somehow I'm telling this story not to others' liking, I am doing this to find Courtney. Courtney needs to be found.
Well, I don't like when I don't look good in a story either, but that...
I would have scrapped the whole thing.
Right.
But Courtney deserves justice, regardless of some putting me in an uncomfortable and undeserved situation. I am not making this up, this story, and I'm not saying anything that was not told to me.
Okay. And that you verified with a second person, with other people.
I did.
So this is verified, told to you, you're repeating. Yeah, this is driving me... I don't know if the family members can tell, but I'm annoyed with y'all. This is silly. But here
it's
we
about
go.
Courtney and nobody...
Let's help Courtney. Let's get her case out there. And people, if this triggers something in you,
go
call.
Away.
Oh, yeah. Family.
This
is
go
it. Don't
find
ask again.
Use that energy to find Courtney.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm moving on. Because I'm going to say something.
We're good. Okay. Courtney.
Our next case comes from Tyler, Texas.
Yes.
Tyler is in Smith County. It is northeast Texas. Tyler's about 2 hours east of Dallas. It's about an hour from Shreveport, hour and a half from Shreveport. So it's a medium-sized town. It's a college town.
Yes.
Kind of like Waco and Denton, Texas. It's got Tyler Junior College and then UT Tyler.
Okay.
I know they are tough on crime, or used to be, because I used to work there.
Right.
The old joke was go to Tyler on vacation, leave on probation.
Oh, sounds like they had a good time.
They were tough in that town. The judges were tough and good. I loved it just because we need some folks tough on crime.
Yes, we do. Okay.
But things may have changed since I left. But, we'll talk about that.
When were you there?
Oh, gosh. This was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a decade-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about Courtney Taylor Martin. Is a 34-year-old Caucasian female born 10/10/88. She is loving, smart, friendly, loved animals, never met a stranger, just a cool chick. However, as a teen, she was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder.
Okay.
And although some family disagree with autism.
Wait, she was diagnosed with?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Some families say no, some families say yes.
Well,
Anyway.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. So she had some stuff going on.
She had some mental health issues.
Okay.
But schizoaffective disorder is a mental health condition marked by a mix of schizophrenia symptoms, such as hallucinations and delusions, and mood disorder symptoms.
Oh, okay.
Such as depression and mania.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is one of the more difficult disorders to treat, it can be treated.
Okay.
With medication.
Okay.
Takes time, and everybody's different. But autism, if I'm not sure, she was diagnosed with this, is a broad range neurodevelopmental disability that affects how people interact with others, learn, communicate, and behave.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So as she was diagnosed in her teen years and was heavily medicated for years. Her mother took care of her. She eventually was deemed mentally disabled and with Social Security and began to, get those disability checks. Of course, it takes time to find the correct medication and dosage. And then, of course, every day new medications are, come out. Courtney was homeschooled.
Okay.
And this continued through her teen years.
Okay. Was she always homeschooled, or was it as a result of
until she got to the college years.
Wow. Okay.
But her sister Alexandria, who was 3 years older, when Allie turned 17, she obtained power of attorney. Of course, some family disagree. We'll get it anyway.
Okay.
And, she took her off the medications, which, it's a struggle to get somebody off medications. And, but she did. And then the good news here is Courtney began the process of getting her life together. She began taking courses at Tyler Junior College.
Okay.
She worked at a vet's clinic in Van, Texas, which is a small town outside of Tyler. It's in Van Zandt County.
So she was doing well enough that she was making it to school, getting to classes, getting to work.
Yes. And I'm not sure if she was on any different medications at that time. I don't know that part.
Okay.
So Courtney herself, throughout all of this process, and this is a typical thing with mental health, is that, she became addicted to illegal substances.
Okay.
Because,
self-medicate.
Yeah. And this, around age 27, 28, she went to rehab and got clean.
Okay.
So good for her.
Right.
Moving forward about 2 years, we go to May 2022.
Okay.
Courtney still struggled with her mental illness. And, this, and of course, drugs too, I'm sure. This is my opinion. Courtney she would go to local tent cities. This is where homeless would set up tents or makeshift shacks to live. Locals call it tent city.
Sure.
She would sometimes feel good about being on the streets and being there. Although, let me make it clear, she was not homeless. She had a home.
Right. She was visiting tent city.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think this is where she met a boyfriend, was in the tent city. But during these times, her sister, and she's still struggling with mental health, and so Allie would go get her, or her mother would go get her. And, there was times Courtney would be childlike in a lot of respects. So manipulating her would be very easy.
Oh, like childlike as in not really picking up on like social cues or being kind of naive?
Yes.
Is that what they said?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And of course, there's scum that take advantage of that, which we'll talk about. So certain events have come into question by several family members, so I will not mention any specific allegations.
Okay.
But again,
you're just on your best behavior with this one.
Listen, don't even.
It's not as much fun. Just kidding.
Anyway, I'm doing this for Courtney.
I know.
Like anyone with addiction issues, there's ups and downs.
Sure.
Yeah. Her grandfather bought some land outside of Tyler in Lindale. So, So Lindale is a lot like Woodway is in Waco, or
I just had friends move there.
Yeah, Mesquite is in Dallas, or Spring is of Houston. Okay, so it's just kind of a suburb. And so he got an RV for Courtney to live in. Courtney also had a vehicle at this time and was doing a lot better. Okay, so again, ups and downs, and She was clean. She was working at Walmart at this point.
Okay. I was just going to say, does she still have the job? Does she? Okay.
And
Working
then
at
now
Walmart.
she's got a place to live,
Mhm.
and things were going
Be
well.
safe. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So, but she would still hang out with people that maybe weren't so good for her.
Okay. Like still going to Tent City
Titsy, yeah, and
like
then,
people who are still in the drug world or
Yes,
both.
and-
Oh, okay.
So that's where she met a man named Thomas.
yeah.
Eventually, Thomas would move in with Courtney in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
He was not a good guy,
Mm-mm.
and he himself was an addict. And they were in a relationship, air quote.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is another person who was taking advantage of her and, just in it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But it's clear that Courtney maybe didn't know at that point or was still learning what a healthy relationship could be.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Young and inexperienced and, family dynamics and so forth.
Mhm.
But, all is well.
Some of us take a long time to learn that no matter what.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's life.
relationships. Yeah.
And
relationships
especially
are
when
hard.
you're young.
Yeah.
So after Thomas moved in, Courtney's brother moved into the RV as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where things got rough again. Courtney began using again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's suspected that meth may have been being cooked, not by Courtney, but by
Okay.
other people around and associated with Thomas or whoever. Because,
So other people.
yes, Courtney wasn't cooking meth.
Okay. Somebody may have been.
Thomas, maybe, I don't know. This
Or
is
anybody
my
else who might have
guess,
been had access to the
right.
RV. Sure.
Because Courtney had relapsed, she was unable to obtain prescription for her mental health meds. So she was doing well. She got hooked back up with this fool and got back into drugs.
Okay.
So she was supposed to follow up with appointments and stay on Suboxone
Okay.
and continue to be treated by her psychiatrist
Mm-hmm.
and be prescribed that antipsychotic that she was on.
Okay.
But once she started using, she no longer was going to those appointments
Mm-hmm.
or going to the clinic to do
Sure.
drug tests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're not going to give it to her if she's not clean.
Right.
And so she didn't go get the drug tests. And
What's the point? I
Yeah.
get it. That makes, yeah.
and she didn't do her follow-up labs.
Mm-hmm.
So she stopped getting the medicine, because this medicine is hard on the liver.
Okay.
So she would have to do liver function tests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then she wasn't getting that. So, anyway,
That must have been hard too, because how did she have health care? Like that stuff adds up. That's very expensive.
yeah, but she's on disability, so Medicaid, Medicare.
Did it take care of all?
this.
Like
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
100%? Because
Yeah.
that's very hard to get.
Yeah, so that would have paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she began to spiral. Things got bad for her, but let's jump a little bit to December of 2022 or January 2023, around that
Okay.
time
So
period.
somewhere in that winter time.
Yes.
Okay.
Thomas and Courtney ended their relationship, and of course, Thomas was booted on out.
Bye.
Yeah. So her brother is still living there and now working at either Dollar Tree, Dollar General,
One
somewhere.
of those.
Yeah.
Okay. One of those dollar stores.
And he has a girlfriend that they live in the RV, so it's the three of them.
Okay.
Despite this, Court was introduced to a 62-year-old man. I
There
think
he
he's
is.
62.
Well, there he is.
There he is.
Okay.
This is the winner.
62.
I think he
Sir.
is. But I found him on Facebook and he didn't look 62. So
We don't need to
whatever.
compliment him.
I'm not complimenting him.
I mean-
he's a scum.
Yes.
Mitchell Frazier.
Mr. Frazier.
He was a frequent visitor at the RV.
Mm.
He began a fast friendship with Brandon and, of course, Courtney. He got right on in there.
Mm.
He was not only a drug dealer, but a career criminal. I looked up his criminal history, and he's been
Ooh.
to prison. He's just awesome. An awesome, scummy.
Just an upstanding
scumbag.
citizen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a POS.
Wait, how old was she at this point? So 2022.
She
was
would have
born
been
in
about
88.
34.
Okay.
34. So Frazier likely cooking meth,
Okay.
maybe doing some other drugs. I don't know. There's no clear story on that.
But his arrest history kind of shows.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
into
drug.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a lot of thefts and a lot of drug history.
It goes hand in hand. Okay.
Yeah. You got to steal for the crack.
Crack is whack. Drugs are bad,
Crack
kids.
is whack. Allie, that is Court's sister, is now a mother of her own, and
Yay.
basically, had kids, and Courtney was really close to them. But of course, like anybody would, you are not coming around my kids if you're using.
That's fair. 100%.
You got to have some tough love. But, and again, this likely made an impact on Courtney because, again, she was very close with her nieces or her niece.
Okay.
So, that's where that ended up. So we're moving ahead to January or February. A couple months later, Courtney's mom calls Allie and tells her the RV's gone.
Just gone.
Bye.
Okay.
Frazier had hooked it up and basically stolen it.
What?
Yeah. Police were called, a report was filed, but nothing was done. It's not clear to Allie why nothing was done.
Yeah.
And then in the next episode, that is clearer. I get a little bit more detail on that story, but
okay.
Yeah.
Because the other family has, or the other
yeah
side has a little bit of info on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, again, the main point of it is that the police really didn't do anything. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, and how did Courtney's mom know? Like, why didn't Courtney call Allie?
Well, I think Courtney called mom.
And then mom called Allie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume.
Well, that's fair because if she wasn't really in Allie's life at that point.
Well, she was.
Was she
Don't
back
get me
in?
wrong. She was still, no. She still would call Allie and still keep in touch with Allie.
Okay.
She just, you can't come over and see my kids.
Sure, yeah. If you're on something,
using,
you can stay out of the
but,
house.
But she still kept in touch with her and kept in regular touch.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the car was also taken by Frazier. And,
oh, yeah. She had a car. Courtney had a car. That's right.
And he took it to land he had owned.
What?
Yeah, he just took it
like
up.
It was he like they found the RV on land he owned?
He
or
hooked
her
it
car?
up and took it there.
But I mean, how do we know that? Somebody saw it there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make sure we have verifiable information just in case. Don't need any
lawsuits.
Messages. Or that. Lordy. Okay.
Anyway.
I know. Okay, so he took it all, put it on his, which is stupid if you're going to steal something.
Well, he was a master manipulator.
Okay. Is it possible he got her to like sign it over or something? Oh, we'll get into that in the next episode. You already said that.
Definitely.
I'm sorry.
Also, on a separate note,
yes,
Courtney she kept in contact with Allie, and at that point had told Allie, never go to Frazier. He's dangerous.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah.
We've done this story, so you're a little familiar.
I am.
We had to pull it.
That's okay.
By this point, Frazier, Mitch Frazier kept Courtney on the hook. He said, "Oh, come see me, and I'll give you this or that." He had her stuff too, because her stuff.
Well, he took the whole RV.
Yeah,
dude took all of her. You're gross, dude. Sorry.
Listen,
gross.
If you're going to take advantage of a person with mental health, you are lower than low. I mean, I can't. Anyway, he would slowly give her one or two of her things back to lure her back in his fold, his fold of evil. And at some point, Courtney wanted to go confront him. And,
good for her.
And Allie told Allie, but Allie said, no.
Right.
Please don't do that.
You said he's dangerous. Hello.
Right.
Yeah.
And Courtney begged her to go with her, in her mother. But, Allie.
Mom didn't go? I would have already been there. I would have already kicked a door in.
I think Mom. I don't remember. I'll have to wait. We'll have to wait till the next episode to get more specifics on that.
Treat one of my kids like that.
Right. And she was protective of Courtney.
Was she?
Yeah. Allie herself, she's in school,
raising
has
babies.
a family. Yeah. And she's like, no, I have a bad feeling about this.
Aww.
The situation. Allie didn't go. I think she regrets that. I think she mentioned that.
Oh.
Police did get involved in that situation, but wouldn't do anything. the whole situation was just out of control.
I don't understand that. If it was hers and if her grandpa put it in her name.
No, it wasn't. Let me correct that.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yes.
it was in Brandon's name, which is the brother.
Oh, so Brandon could have been like, yeah, go ahead and take it. I don't care.
I don't think he did. We'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
I just don't understand how he can just drive off with somebody's
I don't either.
property and the cops are not, and he has a history and cops didn't do anything. I don't, like, what?
I don't know.
Why? Okay. Well, we're not going to get the answer to that question. Moving on.
So in
I don't
April
know.
2023,
Uh-huh.
brother
Brandon.
and Courtney met Frazier. They met up at a gas station.
Okay.
Courtney spoke to Frazier alone while the brother watched, waited in the car. She exited Frazier's vehicle and began to walk away from all of it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Brother didn't say, hey, what's up? Just kind of let her. This wasn't unusual for him. He was just kind of indifferent and kind of whatever.
Was he on something?
I don't know.
Was he aware?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he was aware she walked away, but
so
again,
he allegedly saw her walk away.
allegedly.
Hmm.
Apparently, Frazier came back and picked her up. It is not known where she spent the last few nights.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll get more specific next episode. I've got a little
Okay.
bit more specifics on where she was, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
But as of now, as of the story that was told to me.
This version,
yes.
we don't know.
Right.
People saw her walk away from both of them at the gas station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So, and this was like May 17th or so, 16th, 17th.
Of 23?
So, of 2023. So,
Okay.
it could have been in April. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know when it was. It
Somewhere
was some point.
springish.
Yeah. It's the next day. So I assume it was the day before. This was May 18th, 2023. Courtney calls her sister Allie and tells her she's walking near some woods in Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Allie knew this was strange and knew Courtney was not telling the truth because Courtney knew every inch of that county, of Smith County and the area surrounding. And for her to be so aloof and, it just
And not
hit her wrong.
specific.
Yeah. It wasn't right.
Because you told us last time, the very first time we did this episode, how much she would walk and be around the area and be out in it, like that part of
And
the
she
county.
just-
She
yeah.
knew like the back of her
Mhm.
hand.
Yes.
So for her to be like, "Oh, I'm by the trees,"
I don't know where
was
I'm at.
very out of care, concerning.
Very. And Allie questioned Courtney about this. And eventually
Okay.
Courtney says that she is walking near her grandfather's home
Mm-hmm.
and said, hey, come pick me up. My phone's about to die, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, grandfather's home near mom in the same vicinity.
Okay.
And as well as the RV used to be there
Right,
in
on
the
his
same
land.
area as well.
Okay.
And the RV was I think, I'm not going to guess because, again, I don't want.
Messages.
Yeah.
Okay. It was.
But anyway,
Okay.
Courtney knew this area well. That's the point.
So for her to be so like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and basically
Weird.
she said, hey, come pick me up. My phone's dying, and they hung up. So Allie got dressed right away and headed that way.
Oh.
Allie called her mom and said, hey, you're closer. Go pick her up. Go see where she's at.
Yeah.
Go, you're closer.
Mm-hmm. Did
And
she?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm unsure at that.
So in all the messaging that we got, not once did mom say,
Oh, I
I
don't know.
went and looked.
No, and she may have. I don't know. I'm not at all criticizing mom because
No,
she may have.
I'm not criticizing mom, but
I
that's
don't
like
know.
one of the main things I
And
would have
she-
brought up if I were her. I'd be like,
she
I
may
looked
have.
here, I looked there, I looked here, I looked there.
And she may have.
I
I don't know.
It's weird that she
That-
didn't say that though.
Well, and I mean, this is Allie, and
Sure.
so I didn't really ask mom specifically about that part.
Okay.
So I
Mm.
don't know.
Maybe
Allie,
she did.
Allie did get to the location where
Okay.
Courtney was, and she was nowhere to be found.
Mm.
Allie looked and looked and looked for her sister with no luck. Allie always could find her sister. Always.
Because she knew all the places she would go.
Right.
'Kay.
And she looked at all the places Courtney would have been, and Allie knew something is bad, wrong.
Because she's found her when she used to go to like Tent City.
Yeah.
She would know, she could find
She
her. She
knew
would track
where
her down.
Yeah, she knew
Okay.
where she was.
Yeah.
Allie said, hey, you got to call police, report her missing. And Mom did. A report was filed on May 24th, 2023.
Isn't that like 6 days later?
Yeah, I don't know if that was because Mom didn't file it then or if the police
Didn't respond.
Yeah,
or
because
something?
there's a lot of fishy stuff with the police, and I'll get
Okay.
into that next episode.
Next episode.
Yeah.
Next episode's going to have all the juicy details.
Well, it'll be more specific. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Not juicy. 'Cause
Not
we're
juicy,
not
but
embellishing.
more specific. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did the police do? I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Very little.
Doesn't sound like a
basically.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Allie did continue to look for her sister. You know.
Well, yeah.
She did continue to no avail. And
She's still talking to you about it now. I mean,
Yeah.
she wants her sister found.
of course.
Yeah.
So a passerby on County Road 42 and FM 724, which is outside of Tyler, did at some point observe two people arguing and videoed the interaction.
Oh, okay.
It happened to be Frazier and Courtney.
Oh.
Courtney got out of the vehicle. Frazier drove off. The passerby stopped the video. It's likely Frazier said, "Oh, he's videoing me. I gotta go."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think. He got spooked and took out, but he also came around, probably picked her up.
Okay.
That's a likely scenario.
Well, could that have been when she called her sister?
Is
Is that a timeline lineup? Okay.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It could have been after she hung up with her sister. I don't know the timeline.
Okay.
But police advised Allie that Frazier drove off, so there's nothing. Even though cars can turn around.
Wow.
Cars can turn around.
Well, he drove away.
He drove away, so he didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Even though they can turn around. What?
Or, I mean, they just stopped recording, right? Dude could have just
Well,
stopped.
no, because he drove off, so they left.
He could have just hit his brakes. I mean, come on. Okay.
Cars don't know how to turn around.
Meh.
I did reach out to Smith County
can't.
Sheriff's Office,
Okay.
and to date have not received a response to open records request. But another tip did come in, unsure if it was to police or just to the family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure about this tip, but a person named Lil Bubba, like Lil Wayne, Little Bubba,
Okay.
later found out, I think this was a Thomas. I don't know. There's some Thomas. I think this was Thomas. I think the Thomas she had a relationship with is also friends with Frazier.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Listen,
Well, I mean,
Lil Bubba did this, so
if it's
maybe
a little
somebody.
small town and everybody's getting drugs from the same person, it would make sense that they all kind of know each other.
Yeah, and maybe Allie can straighten that out for me. But
Okay. But just Allie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So Lil Bubba.
so he reported that Frazier had used an excavator at about 10 p.m. the night Courtney went missing. So it is unknown.
That's totally normal behavior.
It is. That's what I do in my yard.
I mean, that's the exact time of day when I want. Well, I'll tell you what, on a day like today when it's 100 and something out, I do. 10 p.m. sounds fine.
It is unknown if police did search Frazier's land, but I suspect they have not. Because you got to have evidence, and
Well, you have to have motivation too, and they don't even care that he.
Well, he drove away.
Yeah, I mean, right? So there's
Yeah,
nothing
he's
to
okay.
look into.
He's innocent.
He's a good guy. He's a good driver.
Courtney Martin was 34 at the time. Last year at her disappearance, she's about to be 35.
Mm-hmm.
She was last seen May 18th, 2023, and this is at County Road 42 and FM 724 in Smith County, Texas.
Okay.
She was 5'7", weighed approximately 170, 180 pounds. Brown hair, brown eyes, does have mental health issues. She was last seen possibly carrying a small black floral backpack and may have been wearing a ball cap.
Oh, yeah, the backpack. Okay.
She has on the left side of her nose pierced and a tattoo CM on the back of her left shoulder. She has been known to go to Tent City and Tyler, which is nearby. if y'all and Tyler know this, Super One, and that's on Gentry and Tyler. I want to thank Allie for her help in this research. She's been very kind and awesome.
Thank you, Allie.
Yes, Courtney would have never just disappeared and not ever gotten in touch with her family.
At least her sister.
Yeah, Courtney loved her sister, loved her niece, always kept in touch, always. She would have never disappeared for this long without being in touch with somebody in her family. Something has happened and the family deserves answers.
Yes.
Courtney, I'm doing this for her. She deserves justice. She deserves to be found and brought back to her family.
Yes.
Allie did turn her grief into action and created a Facebook page that I want everybody to go follow. Tyler, Texas Missing Persons Support and Awareness Group. This page focuses on missing persons in the Smith County area and surrounding areas. Allie regularly does call the police for updates and stated that they have not been as helpful as she would have liked. And according to House Bill 2660, which is Tim's law enforcement is required to electronically submit a report to the National Crime Information Center's missing persons and to neighboring counties.
Okay.
Allie stated that this had not been done, and this was as of when I had interviewed her. So that was a couple months ago when we first aired this? Yeah.
So as of 2024.
Yeah. Well, earlier. So maybe it's there now. Yeah.
Okay.
But by now, maybe it's been done. And hopefully because of family pressures, they did do that. Law enforcement did do that.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't ask Allie recently of this. So
okay.
I'm reporting basically the same story I did with a few things changed that, Allie wanted me to change.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair.
But Smith County needs to take this seriously if they haven't, because she had mental health issues, maybe she liked to hang around homeless people. Who cares?
Right.
She's a human being and she deserves more than anybody. She deserves to be found and she deserves investigative and
she deserves a foot forward. I mean, it doesn't even have to be your best foot forward. Just do some digging. Yeah, and I would encourage the DA in Smith County to get involved. Maybe other law enforcement, maybe Texas Rangers, somebody. Is there when you do an open records request, is there a time that they have to reply within? Yeah, and they didn't. 10 days. At all? No. So they have 10 days and didn't even. Yeah, and they're supposed to do with 10 days, and then there's supposed to be the option where it can be appealed to the state attorney general's office. Yeah, I got ignored. So what's the next step if people don't nothing? That sucks. I mean, what can we do if we could blast them on here? I mean, I guess I could report it to the Texas Attorney General. Yeah, well, I'm like that, or it's a sheriff's department. Yeah. That's not. Yeah. And that's who I did the open records request. And they're supposed to respond within 10 days and they didn't. And, they're supposed to say, hey, we're not going to give this to you. At least something. Well, if they wouldn't give it to me, they have given records to family where I did get a lot of records. So I'll make that clear. Okay. But as far as my request was not honored. Or responded to. Right. I mean, gosh. And, the family is nervous to speak out because there is some seedy characters in this case. Mitchell Frazier. Right. Yeah. He's still up and at it, huh? Oh, yeah. He's not locked up anywhere? That's unfortunate. But maybe he turned his life around. No, he didn't. Nope. I don't know. And if he did, if you turned your life around, you would come clean about doing something to Courtney. Stop killing people. Allegedly. I'm like, hold on. I'm about to get a lawsuit. I'm like, Mitch Frazier is gonna. Oh. But somebody knows something, and yes. I think that the link here will be Thomas. I think he needs to be Thomas, the boyfriend. Yes. I don't know.
Okay.
One of the Thomases involved in this case.
Okay. You think he's the link. Why?
I think he would be the one that would, because he has spoken to the family, and I think that he would need to be the one that we need to appeal to come forward.
Okay.
He needs to think of somebody other than himself and get on the other side of the law before he's on the wrong side of the law.
Because he hasn't even come forward to say, oh, I didn't do anything. I don't know where she is. Like nothing?
I don't know.
Or has anybody even bothered to ask?
Oh, yeah, the family has talked to him.
I mean, like law enforcement wise. No, right?
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate.
Well, we don't know because they didn't answer your request.
But if anybody knows anything about Courtney Martin, please call the Smith County Sheriff's Office at 903-566-6600. That is 903-566-6600. Let's get some justice for Courtney. Any little tip is needed, please. Mitch is married to a lady named Fawn. And maybe she knows something. She needs to.
Anybody who has any idea, any tidbit, any rumors, anything you've heard, anything you remember seeing. It's just a year ago. So
yeah, we got to get. Courtney deserves to come home, and her family deserves answers.
Absolutely. So please call. Is that a Crime Stoppers?
No, that's Smith
straight
County.
to Smith County.
Yeah, I didn't even write down their Crime Stoppers. I should have, but I didn't.
I think we have it on the old one, so we'll pull it. But
yeah, it's probably on the old. We'll put it on our social media.
There we go. This is frustrating.
But you can go to the internet and Google it.
Yes, and she's all over. That's what I was Googling while we were talking and looking at the Facebook group again, and yeah, get on there too.
Yeah, go follow that Facebook group. And it is the Tyler, Texas Missing Persons Support and Awareness Group.
Give it a like.
Yeah, go give it a like and go look and see that there are a lot of people missing.
There are several other cases.
Yep. And let's get Courtney home. Her family deserves it. Allie deserves it. The entire family wants to get answers. And it's awful for them.
The not knowing.
Right.
Oh, I don't even think I'd be able to.
Even if it's bad, they want to bring her home.
Knowing is better, I think.
Yeah.
Than not just
bring
always
her
wondering.
home no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know anything, please share. Call that number. Check out the Facebook group. Let's see if we can get Courtney some justice.
Smith County Sheriff's Office, 903-566-6600. You are the key, and let's get Courtney some justice because her family deserves it.
All right. And if you want some additional details to this story, listen to next episode where we'll give another version of what the family has said happened to Miss Courtney.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. This is a good one. Even doing it again, man, it boils my blood. I hope we can find some justice for her. And that is Silent Witness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.